Logan Paul versus Anderson Silva. The fight has been rumored, but it's almost confirmed at this point that these two are going to fight each other. Now, my thoughts on this fight is that I think that Anderson Silva is going to win the fight. I really believe that Anderson Silva can defeat Logan Paul. Now, Jake and Logan have a thing where when they pick their opponent, they pick a skilled, good opponent. However, they pick an opponent that's basically retired. So, with Logan fighting Floyd, now he's fighting Anderson Silva, who's 46, and Jake's fighting Woodley, who's in his 40s as well. Ben Askren in his 40s. Nate Robinson was also kind of old. So yeah, they have a thing where they choose skilled fighters, but Nate Robinson isn't skilled, but he's an athlete. But they also chose Nate Robinson, who was old. So his athletic ability obviously must have declined in his late 30s, and they chose people like that. But Anderson Silva has fought against a champion in boxing and defeated him quite well. It was a dominant performance. It was a split decision win for Anderson Silva. However, I thought that it was definitely a unanimous decision win. And Anderson Silva is 6'2". Logan's never fought someone his size, and he has an inch reach better than Logan. I think Logan is 76 and Anderson Silva is 77. Now guys, if you my opinions are I don't have 2 or 3 takes where I'm recording and then I stop and I say okay, I made a mistake. No, I just do one take and I upload it because I want it to be genuine, not scripted, not biased. My overall opinion on the situation. I think that if Logan's not an entertaining fighter. His fights haven't been entertaining yet. His opponents have been the aggressive ones. He's usually just keeping his distance or clinching, which he does quite often against KSI and then against Floyd Mayweather. And KSI was trying to take his head off. Floyd Mayweather was trying to close the distance, and it's just him keeping his distance. It feels almost as if he just wants to make sure that he doesn't get embarrassed. So he's scared to put it all on the line and sort of go for the knockout, because if he gets countered and loses the fight from a TKO or a knockout, the amount of memes that he will receive will be horrific to experience. I think that's always in his head, whereas he goes into fights just trying to survive or look good for a bit so that he has that moment to talk about. For the Floyd Mayweather fight, he hit him clean once or twice, and then those were replayed on and on. So I think with Anderson Silva is going to be the one pushing. However, Logan cannot keep doing this. He cannot keep fighting very defensive in his fights, because then the stock goes down and the interest goes down for fights. Anderson Silva is very slick with how he fights, arms down, mostly head movement. He's very slick, and it's often sometimes intimidating for his opponents where his hands are down and you're still missing punches, and it goes wow, skill-wise not even close to this guy. So that's a mental defeat that he does to his opponents. Something that Adesanya kind of does, where he just dodges some punches and he just makes you feel wasn't that tired. He was a bit drained, but he wasn't that tired. So I think that he definitely can play the waiting game. But if this guy sticks behind his jab and it goes to decision, and I don't know whether he wins or loses, but we need some interest from his fight. It cannot be how all his other fights go. He's not had much fights, but they haven't been really entertaining. So Anderson Silva always puts on a performance. All his fights are interesting. It's just I just hope Anderson Silva doesn't get too cocky, like he did with Chris Weidman. Was it Chris Weidman where he put his arms down and tried to lean back and then got clipped? Must have been him, yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying he's more humble now, more experienced, and I think he gets the job done. I think he can outpoint. I don't think he's stopping Logan Paul. I don't think he's gonna stop Logan Paul, but I think he's gonna outpoint Logan. I hope. Well, the judges will sanction this, so there will be judges. It's not like the Floyd fight where because of the weight difference they couldn't have judges and it wasn't sanctioned. So for this fight it will be sanctioned, and like you guys might get pissed at this, but I think Logan can, fighting Mike Tyson, he has more of a chance of winning. Logan has more of a chance of winning. But fighting someone like Anderson Silva, he's gonna lose. No, I feel like he has possibility to win, but it's just the skill of Anderson Silva is so elite. It's levels above. Who I just don't see Logan beating him. He can get knocked out. He can knock Anderson Silva out, and it's basically using his youth. Tire out Anderson Silva, clinch, put your weight on his shoulders and, drag him down, and then towards the ending of the rounds, you see that being 46 and then being 28 isn't the same thing. There's going to be difference in their endurance, and that will be shown in the fight if it goes the distance. However, Anderson Silva is really healthy, and that's something that he's going to be prepared for. Jake and Logan, they have a lot of power, but you cannot buy experience under the lights that Anderson Silva has. The losses he has, the wins he has, it teaches you so much. And he's in his 40s, he's not that old. He's not Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is much more older. So I just think that he's obviously on the decline side, but he's not over. He's still got it. He's shown that a few months ago in his fight. So he's definitely the favorite for me going into this fight. Both 6'2". Logan's main advantage is he always uses the jab because he's fighting shorter opponents. With Jake too, Jake has only fought shorter opponents, and Logan has only fought shorter opponents. So the jab has always been Logan's best weapon, whereas in this fight, Silva is 6'2", so it's not going to be an easy game for Logan where he's going to jab, and go back. So I definitely see this being an interesting fight. I think Logan's taking tougher fights than Jake, which is why he gets more pay-per-view sales than Jake. Logan gets more pay-per-view sales than Jake. He got 1 million plus pay-per-views for the fight with Floyd Mayweather, because he picks these fights where it seems like he's gonna be the one who loses. The one with Anderson Silva, it looks like Anderson Silva is gonna win. So obviously people are gonna tune in to see someone like Logan Paul lose the fight. Whereas with Jake, the opponents he chooses, you see like Jake can lose, but he does seem the favorite in who he's choosing. So that's why the pay-per-view sales haven't jumped up as much as Logan's. So Logan's good at definitely getting people to buy pay-per-views, but I don't know if he's entertaining enough to make people to repetitively buy pay-per-views to keep watching him if he's gonna fight defensively most of the time. So only time will tell. My prediction is Anderson Silva wins the fight on points. I think Anderson Silva could TKO Silva, but who knows? Logan Paul could come with a knockout. Logan Paul could, after fighting someone like Floyd Mayweather, who's the most skilled person on the planet, it definitely gives you a lot of advantages in terms of dealing with someone with a going to be a lot of mind games in that ring from Anderson Silva, ducking the punches, and then the endurance, how long does it last? So my prediction is Anderson Silva winning the fight. I would say it's a 60-40 type of fight where Anderson Silva 60% and Logan 40%. So Logan's definitely improving. You can see the improvement. He's in his 20s, and that's what is gonna make the fight sell in terms of people who think that Anderson Silva might lose. Those are the only reasons. Logan isn't more skilled than Anderson Silva even now, and Anderson Silva is still quick, slick, and yeah, he moves really well in that ring, in the octagon. So he's definitely gonna do well. He's fought a champion, a world champion in boxing, and defeated him. So obviously, I'm gonna give the advantage to Anderson Silva.
I'm here to say, I hate being a dickhead. I love you guys. I love all you guys. I'm gonna go home thinking, yo, did Floyd let me survive? Like, he's one of the GOATs. Thank you, thanks for coming.